Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code Leading Off only at Bet365. It is me, Joey P. That's the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks, hanging out in the chat today. We got a great show for you today. We got the trade winds are blowing. We've got Fernando Tatis home run calls back on the board. Welsh, feeling good about that. And a perfect 4-0 day for Joey P on the betting side. Rocket and rolling. I'm good in the early week, and then as the week kind of tends downward, I tend downward. So I gotta change that trend. But Welsh, yesterday something very, very scary happened. Buster Olney was hacked, and all of a sudden rumors started flying. It was pretty hilarious, Welsh. I'm waiting till someday they hack you. That's what I'm.
No. Please don't do that. I actually am terrified of that. So I actually feel bad laughing at it because I'm like terrified of those things. When we started in, I forgot about the Olney stuff. You and I were talking about it. And then as the thing was going, I went and looked it up and I was reading them. And I couldn't help myself. So if you're wondering why I had a big old stupid ass grin on my face when the show started, it's because of that. And maybe my favorite one, he got hacked. And this dude, he went berserk with everything. But for some reason, my favorite one is it just goes, I hate Mets. And that was it. And that was the last one I read right as the show started. It was just Buster Olney. I hate Mets. I got obliterated.
That's how you know. Gee, I wonder who would hack Buster Olney and write something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there was tons of stuff. One of the worst ones were the trade ones he was doing. He did one like the Oakland A's have agreed to a deal with the New York Mets on Francisco Lindor. Yep, right there. That exact one.
That's a shame because that one is so like unbelievable. I wish it would have been a more believable one. You know,
but the guy definitely unveiled that he's a Mets fan because he did the Lindor to the A's fan. I hate
he was a Mets fan because he said I hate Mets. He didn't say I hate the Mets. He
traded Lindor to the A's. He said I hate Mets,
which is a very funny phrasing. Which
I know that was why it was so funny. So
so Buster Olney hopefully changes his password.
Did he ever get his account back? I mean. You guys don't understand. This went on. I was watching it live. Like Joe texted me later in the day, and I'm like, dude, this has just been going. The guy was just going ballistic, answering DMs. People were telling him what to do. It is so weird when this happens. Like, I feel bad because like I would hate if my account got hacked and this was happening, whatever. There's just something weird about a guy like Buster Olney doing it. But it does look like I can confirm Buster Olney must have got it back and had to delete every single tweet because his Twitter is clean.
How many were there?
There were a lot.
Were there a lot? I saw like
10
screenshots, and some of them were pretty amusing. So
yeah, and people still have them out there. The I hate Mets was the best one. Let's see. He had one that the Phillies and the White Sox had agreed on
the Louis Robert trade. I saw that one. Yeah, that's a good one too.
I can't even read some of these.
Good times. All right, let's get to the headlines here. Gunnar Henderson, that boy's good. So far on the year, hitting 350 in the month of June with 3 homers already. 3 for 5 yesterday, his 21st homer. First pitch, I believe, yesterday of the game, if memory serves. For Gunnar Henderson, another leadoff homer for him. The guy's been just unbelievable. I know, Welsh, Gunnar was your guy. Gunnar is in this MVP conversation. And, we saw Juan Soto actually did DH yesterday, so I think that's a positive. He's getting treatment on it. Maybe he DHs for a couple weeks. Hopefully nothing, hopefully that there isn't a situation where you regret that decision. Is it better to just put him on the IL for 10 days or 15 days or whatever it is and let it kind of die down, work its way out? Or is it better to, try to let him work through this and keep Soto on and in the lineup? I don't know the answer to that question. I give him credit for trying to play through it. I think it's a gutty thing, but again, it's only June, so it might be a stupid thing. But if something does happen to Soto or he misses an extended period of time at any point, Gunnar Henderson's definitely in this conversation along with Aaron Judge for sure this year.
Yeah, what's weird is I feel like with a lot of these for the last couple of years, we've looked at like, a team that's got 2 amazing players and we're like, oh, this guy is going to eat. I don't feel like these guys are eating into each other anymore. Like Judge and Soto are still near the tippy top because logic would say like, yeah, Judge and Soto should in some capacity maybe eat away at some of those, first overall MVP votes. Because also when you look at a guy like Gunnar legit is going to probably put up like minimum 35 homers at this point. Mm-hmm. Maximum could go 40, 45, could completely transform and carry this Orioles team into a playoff run. Gunnar should legit. I don't know if he'll get it, because if you're going to be battling up against a guy like Juan Soto, or if Aaron Judge goes 50 plus again, it's going to be almost impossible no matter what Gunnar does. But for perspective of value, Gunnar belongs in that conversation. I just don't know if it's a good bet when you've got two of the best players on the Yankees right now.
I'd like, the chat's very funny. They've got a lot of funny people in our Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I'd like a contest right now. I want to see your funny Buster Olney passwords. So whatever you think the password was that got hacked for Buster Olney, I'd like you to drop it in the comments here.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's the password for my luggage.
No, I want it to be. I want to see how clever, because I know this group is pretty fun. So let's see if you can get that out there. So I did say Soto was back in the lineup DHing. So there you go. We'll see how that works out. Dylan Cease got a win for the first time this month, holding the A's down to 1 run in 6 innings, as we predicted here on the program. So we got everything yesterday, all things rocking and rolling. Very, very good situation. Royce Lewis continues to stay hot too. 1 for 4, 2 runs scored for him. Chris Paddock, 6 1/3 shutout innings. He got the W, but Welsh, have you seen the split stats this year on Chris Paddock? I don't know if you've seen these or not.
No, what, just the home road?
Yeah, the home road. Have you seen these?
I don't know. Let's see. Tell me all about it.
I want to get the exact number because I saw it flash in front of me. So now I'm just pulling this up here.
You were very Seinfeld there. You're like, have you seen these splits?
No, that's a shame. That's a shame. That's one of my favorite Jerry Seinfeld things, where he just goes, that's a shame.
I don't have a favorite Seinfeld thing. I think
you're not a Seinfeld guy.
I don't like it. I don't think it's funny. Yeah.
Well, I don't think his stand-up is great. But you know what else isn't great? The away numbers for Chris Paddock. He has an 8.20 ERA and 5 stars this year on the road.
On the road?
At home, he has got a 2.80 ERA over 8 starts, but in the 5 starts on the road, an 8.20.
That's
yikes.
I don't recall that. I mean, it's only like 2.5 months. That's crazy.
Still, it's 5 starts, 8 starts. Like, that's enough where that's a good enough sample where you could say, all right, this is pretty
That's
dramatic.
Colorado dramatic. It's crazy.
Pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I just thought I would throw that out there just because, when you're looking at matchups, like the next time I see Chris Paddock on the road, I'm just going all in. Like, I just figured that was worth sharing over there for everybody. Let's look at some of the passwords here. Let's get to Anthony Rizzo too. This is a good one here. Suck it, Kirchin. That's a good one. I like that one. What other passwords do we have? Bust your ass 24. That's a good one. I really hate Mets. Also a good one from Dan. Some really good options here. Here's a question here.
Stanberry 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone said still taller than Rosenthal was the password. Go up to that one. It's just a couple up. It's actually that's very
still
funny.
Taller than Rosenthal. That's a good one. Yeah.
I like that.
See, the chat never. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks never let you down. Anthony Rizzo benched. Is this the end of Anthony Rizzo? I feel like we've kind of been here before once or twice recently, but now it seems pretty much more dramatic.
Rizzo, my friend.
DJ LeMahieu getting first base starts.
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu, a much better option far as a contact hitter. I wish they would experiment with Jason Dominguez playing first so we could get him in the lineup. But yeah, I think we're getting towards the end. If anything, though, Rizzo's going to be one of those guys that just kind of looms around. Just going to be off the bench. They're not going to cut him or get rid of anything like that. It's not going to be an Abreu situation. I just think he's going to sit more. So,
Fair enough. Rookie Lookie time. Jackson Chourio 1 for 2 with a walk and a homer. I told you, I think he's starting to pull things out a little bit. I'm just saying.
We're going to talk about him in a minute.
I said this the other day, and people thought it was crazy. Like, I like what I see out of him a little bit. He's starting to get the confidence. It might not be a great season for him when all is said and done. He might not get return on your draft value. But if you didn't draft him, and as we'll talk about some trade stuff in a second, might be worth a look here. Again, the minor leagues are so good. 283, 22 homers, 44 steals last year in 128 games. Let's not pretend like the guy doesn't have talent. It just takes a while. Now, Louie Varland, I'm not sure I'm sold on this. He's going to get a start today against the Rockies, Welsh. And he has not been good this year. He went down to AAA. The ERA is about 5. So I know the strikeouts are there, but this is not a great look here for Louie Varland. I don't have any confidence starting him today, even against the Rockies. Would you be streaming him?
No, because also Cal Quantrill is Cal Quantrill is on the bump, and he's been really good this year. He has been their best starter. It doesn't matter on splits. I actually think Colorado is a good bet today. So no, I'm not into Louie Varland at all. Rockies under Cal Quantrill is kind of a good bet.
Here's another good one. Arson Judge BB. That's a good one.
How does it happen too? I get the thing is they get old personed. They like it's like Bank of America wants you to double, like they click on a link. Like don't ever click on any link.
Well, I guess sometimes they're just like going so fast they probably don't realize it, But why can't but I love Bank of America. Not a sponsor of the show yet.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but don't ever click. Never click on links.
Bank of America presents leading off. That's nice. When we've made the big time, folks. Chase DeLauter, Guardians' big prospect, was put back on the IL. This guy cannot catch a break. He's got turf toe now. Welsh, DeLauter was so good in the spring. Everybody was excited. People thought he might make the team. The guy's had foot problems, now a turf toe problem. What in the world is happening with this guy?
I know.
Is this going to be a lost year for Chase DeLauter?
Tarantino'd up. Well, last year was too. He that's why he was in the AFL. He lost so much time. I don't know, man. I actually think he's leading himself into a spot where it's like you go back to the AFL. Why do you go to the AFL? Because you missed all this time. The dude has. I've had a turf toe actually. It's like it's horrible. It can linger and linger. He's had the ankle thing. He's got this. Yeah, this is the idea of a lost season because the Guardians, they're not making any big move. The opportunity when like Esteban Florio got cut would have happened. Juan is coming back. They might make some more moves. I as optimistic as I was about Chase DeLauter, one of the biggest on him this year is really, really cut and affected as far as what the value is. Probably a really great dynasty buy for the future because, you'll get that figured out. It's not going to be long standing for a career or anything like that, but it's disastrous that what's wrong with his feet? Get your feet figured out.
That's right. Especially since the House of Dragon season 2 is coming out soon. You want to get all the foot stuff out of the way. Now, speaking of buying players, yeah, that's right. It's a good show. It's actually a little disappointing.
But what's the foot? I don't know the foot thing.
Did you watch season 1 of House?
I don't remember.
What guy had a weird foot fetish thing? Don't you remember that guy? The weird, like, creepy guy who was like the
Tarantino?
No, not Rex Ryan either. No, it was the guy. He was like the hand of the queen or whatever he was. He was like
working foot of the queen. More like it.
I walked right into that one. Well done. Touche, my friend. Speaking of buying players, we just talked about Jackson Chourio. And for more on players to buy, including Chourio, let's talk a little trades with me and the Welsh. It's week 12. So, Welsh, it's time to look at the buy lows and the sell highs and some other players we have that might be available. We're putting together our weekly buy low, sell high on FantasyPros.com. You can check that out right now. The article should be out any minute now. So, Welsh, what do you have for the folks this week in terms of players that you're looking to get rid of or to acquire?
We've got a couple players that are on my trade buy list. If you guys have been following all season long, hey, Gunnar Henderson was the feature of this at the beginning of the year. So I like to get some wins and hopefully to get you guys some wins in this trade market. Some of you are going to roll your eyes, though, at where I'm going to go with this because I have talked about this guy before, but I got some reasonings. On the buy, Oneil Cruz. We are back into buying Oneil Cruz. You want to know why, too? Because Oneil is on that down tick. He has been kind of in that, like, no one's really interested. Everyone kind of feels that Oneil Cruz is just kind of capped, but there's been some optimism. So since May 1st, he's hitting 255. That's huge. Getting over the 250 marker is absolutely big for Oneil Cruz. He's also, even bigger, cut his K percentage to under 30%. Since May, he's had 6 homers and 2 stolen bases. And here's a big one. We did a big old look at bat speed and trying to find the correlations of it on the most recent in this league. He increased his bat speed by a pretty wide margin. He was already like the second highest in bat speed in baseball behind Giancarlo Stanton. In April, he had a 77.5 average bat speed, miles per hour on his actual swing. In April, he hit 223 with 3 homers and a 36% K percentage. So that was with that 77.5. Starting in May, he increased that bat speed up to 78.3, second best in baseball. So an almost full mile an hour increase on his bat speed. That equated to 6 homers and a lowered K rate. So I think he's trending in a really great direction right now. And I know you're not the biggest Oneil Cruz guy on the planet, but you get batting average up, You get Ks going down, homers happening, and stealing bases. I think there's no big excitement around Oneil Cruz, which makes him such a great buy right now, Joe.
Look, I think Cruz is talented. I think what's happening this year is the repercussions of not playing last year. I think that at the end of the day, that's what is really hurting him. Now, maybe in the second half, after he's had a few hundred at bats, maybe he's going to start to pull himself out of it. You're giving out some good numbers there on him. Now, last week I said I liked what I saw at Jackson Chourio, starting to look like he was figuring things out a little bit. Went yard yesterday. Again, a young player. Maybe we are not always giving enough patience to some of these young players, but you're looking at Chourio the way I am, I believe, as well. Yes.
Yeah, he's number 2 on this list as a buy. He's hitting 300 in June right now. He had a 32% K percentage in April, very Oneil Cruz-esque early on. But since then, he's cut it 19% in May, and it was actually 19.1, and then 19% so far in June. Another one of these who increased his bat speed as well. April, he had a solid, I think, Enos Harris had kind of marked like 73 miles per hour average on your bat speed is like, that's good. That's like where you want it. That's what he had in April. But since May, he increased it to 74 miles per hour. So he added a full mile per hour to that bat speed. That also can correlate to feeling more comfortable. And that might be something that shows these guys are seeing the ball better. We don't really know what the correlation is. Is it either, he's just increased the bat speed and it's created those results, or he's seeing those things, which has created the bat speed? We don't know, chicken or the egg situation, but we do know is there's an increase. With that, the results, he lowered his strikeout percentage and he had a 50-point bump on his average since May. It still wasn't great, but a 50-point bump. He's currently sitting on 7 homers, 7 stolen bases, and though you said like, I don't know what the numbers will be, it's a legit shot to be a 2020 guy. So I think Jackson Chourio, it's a really solid time because, again, kind of like Oneil Cruz, I'm not talking about players that just stink. I'll go buy this stinky old sock and it's going to turn into a golden shoe. No, it's like these are like fine players that people don't have probably crazy attachments to in redraft that I'm buying because they're making really big changes. This last one's going to weird you out though, Joe.
Okay. Well, I like the first two, Welsh, because what I like the first two is you're betting on talent and you're betting on youth to figure things out. And I think that is always a good investment, especially now that we're not talking draft season. We're talking about we're at the, a third of the way through the season right now. So if you're going to buy on players, buy on the young kids who still have upside, still have development to do at the major league level and could go further, as opposed to buying guys that might be towards the end or guys who are starting to fall off a little bit. I think that, we're not buying the Nolan Arenados of the world right now. We're buying the Jackson Chourios of the world.
No, we're not buying the Nolan Arenados.
So who's going to creep me out? Who's the guy that you want to buy and bring over and I'm not going to like this? Who is it?
Pitcher, Ryan Weathers.
Interesting.
I should have gone Marlins pitcher, and then you would have been like, Jesus Lazette. No, Ryan Weathers. Okay, so follow me here. There's a two-parter. Just first off, since May, he's been insane. 2.83 ERA since May 1st. Had an even better Sierra at 2.76. In that same period of time, he's got the 8th best K- walk percentage in baseball. It's a solid K percentage, but part of the reason he's got a 3% walk rate, which is absurd for him. So he's not walking, he's striking out. He actually has a pretty solid where it rates the pitches as far as his fastball run value. He's got a solid run value on his actual fastball. The sweeper has been a solid pitch. Not walking is crazy. But here is my thesis around it, not just those numbers. The Marlins are horrible, and they want to trade everybody. Give me Ryan Weathers. The same argument that we've had with Jesus Luzardo. Give me Ryan Weathers on a Phillies team. Go back to the Padres, on a Padres team. Anywhere. Give me this pitcher, sub-3 ERA, not walking, good K percentage, has been since May 1st, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Give me him on another team. This almost might be a guy that you can go waiver wire right now pending. But if not, get him thrown into a trade. That's something I'm doing in the trade market as far as one of those pitchers go. 3 guys for you guys to probably buy relatively cheap on, at least what I think the rest of their return is going to be this year.
And if you have some trades that you are possibly vetting right now, drop them in the comments below, and Welsh and I on the YouTube channel will do our best to get to them this week and tell you our 2 cents on those trades. So again, subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB. Drop your trades below that you're considering or offering or being offered. We'll try to help you out in the days ahead. That is Talking Trades this week with Joey P and the Welsh.
I'm always so confused looking. I'm like, oh, I got the same hat though.
Oh, you are wearing this. Wait, you are? You're wearing the same exact. Oh,
look at that. Goodness. Well, I'll try to do the face too.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. You do a good Welsh face.
Wait, go back to it. Go back to
down. Hold on. Now I got to bring it up again. Oh, Welsh. How I enjoy your shtick. I do. All right. Carlos Rodon up 1 run, 7 innings, another victory for him. Willy Adames, that's your boy, 2 for 4 yesterday with a dinger. Ryan Pepiot, look, he struck out 9 guys. I'm going to give him credit for that. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. That's a win, despite the fact that he allowed 4 runs.
Why are you being negative? You're being all negative. You're like,
well, because he lost and he gave up 4 runs. So typically I'm a little tougher on that, but the 9 Ks, I want to take it. So I'm giving him an up. 3 down, Michael Kopech, 3 runs in the 8th. No good. Below the save there. Seth Lugo, 4 runs in 7 innings and a L to the Yanks. And Joey Estes, 3 runs, 8 hits. Got beat around the ballpark a little bit by the Padres, mostly Fernando Tatis, mostly. By the way, that Tatis homer, talk about like scratching out. It just like it got to the wall and kind of eked over.
You should have looked. Was it one of those where it's like, this is a homer in 2 ballparks?
It definitely was a homer in it was a homer in Yankee Stadium, and that's about it, probably. Injuries, Elias Diaz left the game with a tight calf. Of course he did, because I just picked him up off the waiver wire this week. Kyle Tucker is off his crutches. Hooray. God bless us, everyone. Kyle Tucker's off his crutches. He has shin contusion, but now he's coming back. He is. And he's going to be just right as rain to make his debut again for the Astros as soon as possible. That's what he's going to do.
That impression is so impressive, because if I do a British impression, over under
Tiny Tim Charles Dickens. That's a
over under
British
5.5 seconds. It will start to turn Australian for me, and then any other impression will go Russian. Like there's only 2 directions that all impressions for me will go.
Yes, Ebenezer Scrooge. We have ways of making you talk. Of course, we
yeah. Hello.
It's more like a Cockney British show. It's not like
I was about to say you were getting a little Cockney there. You're always
it's almost Michael Caine. If you want to do injuries like Michael Caine, I'll give you Michael Caine for the rest of the injuries. Andrés Muñoz, he's a good pitcher, but the problem is with him, he's got day-to-day back issues. Well, his back is a problem. Things are going to not go well. Andrew Benintendi, he's an Italian fella. He's got a problem with his Achilles. He is hopefully going to be.
I'm hating this. It's making me
Tommy
angry.
Pham. Hey, you got to talk about Tommy Pham for a second here for Michael Caine. And Michael Caine wants to tell you his ankle, he's got a rehab assignment and he's working his way back. So Welsh, what is it you want to talk about with Michael Caine and your injuries?
I hate you. I absolutely hate you, Michael Caine. But I was there last night. I went to the White Sox.
Oh, that's right. You were. Yeah.
Andrew Benintendi, Tommy Pham, and some interesting news. Eloy was hanging around. He came out and he was watching this game. It was one of the weirdest games, by the way. There was like 21 runs scored. And what was it? Jesus. It was like 19 or 18 of them were scored from the 5th inning on. Tommy Pham had 1 hit, bunch of strikeouts. He did play in the infield. But Andrew Benintendi did hit a leadoff home run. He was DHing in that game. Looked good spirits. I'm probably going to go back tonight and see them again. But both of those guys on the same trajectory. And Eloy did tell me he's going to be playing soon. So I think he might be playing next week out here in Complex. But he was out there, good spirits.
And hanging out.
Didn't get hurt walking around. So that's like, huge positive.
Friends do. Friends hang out with each other, chat with each other. Also good friends. Kelly Kirby, Mike Mayer, The Cycle every Thursday here. I listened to the most recent episode. Very good stuff from the 2 of them, holding down the fort while the worm is on vacation. But check out The Cycle wherever you get your podcasts here. Obviously, Fantasy Pros MLB. Welsh, yesterday was a glorious day of betting for us. It's time to repeat that. Let's do it again. It's Tuesday's Best Bets
of Joe's Day
with me and some other guy named the Welsh if his bets are in today. Of course, you can place all your bets over at Bet365. When you do, use that promo code leading off, sign up, get $5 in that account, bet it, and then get 150 in bonus bets after that when you use that promo code leading off. Again, you got to be 18 or over in Kentucky. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Terms and conditions apply. Welsh, I thought you had some good ones yesterday.
I was like on the bets I gave you guys, I was
mid?
1 for 2, but the problem, the good thing for me was the parlay I played that hit, and I bet more than a unit on it. So it covered the 2 stupid first 5s that didn't play. Right. All of a sudden, they're not scoring runs. It's ridiculous.
I don't love the slate today as much as I loved yesterday. So I'm going to go to what I know. I'm getting a good number on Paul Skeens strikeouts today. So over 7.5, I'm getting plus money, plus 100. Yes, please. So give me that against the Cards today. I think we can get up to 8 or 9 potentially. Fernando Tatis Jr. is red freaking hot right now. So we're just going to keep rolling with this. Tatis over 0.5 RBI plus 165, and then over on the 1.5 total bases plus 106. So I like both of those together. The parlays were tough. I don't like a lot of the pitching matchups today. I don't like a lot of the SGP. So instead, we're going to have some fun. Padres money line at minus 152. Dodgers money line at minus 162. All the heavy favorites, and the Seattle Mariners minus 240. Very heavy favorites today with Woo on the mound with Drew Thorpe making his debut there for the Chicago White Sox. I like Thorpe, but I think the Mariners should be able to find a victory there. So Dodgers, Mariners, and Padres to win plus 279, almost 3-1 you're getting on that, Welsh. So those are Joey P's best bets of the day. What do you have for the people?
Oh, well, you mentioned something that's interesting because there's actually quite a few interesting plus money strikeout plays today. And even actually before the show started, I've seen some move. One I'm not taking, but an example, Zach Wheeler was sitting around 6.5 at minus money, and then it moved up to 7.5 for plus money. So they're trying to get you on plus money. They're not all going to be great. Skeens is interesting. I'm not going in that direction. I'm actually going with 2 lower ones. One of my favorites today at plus 115 is Mitchell Parker, 4.5 strikeouts over Washington up against Detroit. Detroit has actually been relatively stinky on the strikeout market. Mitchell Parker has hit this, I believe, in 2 of his last 3 starts. He's gone over 5 strikeouts. He's just been great this year. So Mitchell Parker on the plus money strikeouts, I'm playing that. The other one is Tyler McGill at 5.5. It's plus 130. Now, 5 strikeouts definitely does feel like the play, but going up against the Marlins, they are actually have I believe it's over the last 2 weeks, the worst chase rate in baseball of all hitting teams. Their chase rate is atrocious with a pretty bad strikeout rate as well. So this is actually a pretty good opportunity. It's a little 5 is the like really sweet spot. To be honest with you, if you can do alt line, I might go 5 McGill and 4 Mitchell Parker, parlay those together, and then probably get close to even money. But these are both just really good plus money strikeout plays today. So I'm playing both of those. And then one of my favorite plays is Toronto on the money line at minus 118. I did like the first 5, but it's gone up a little too much. And part of that, people in the chat have brought up, you've got 2 rookies going today. You've got Drew Thorpe for the White Sox, but you've got Carlos Rodriguez for the Brewers.
Right.
I don't think it's going to go well for Carlos Rodriguez. He is a primary big fastball guy, and I think that team specifically is going to hit him up. So I really like the idea. I actually might take Toronto up by a run through the first 5, but just for safekeeping here, I'm going to go Toronto money line minus 118. And if I were living in Joe's world and I was doing a big old money line parlay, I probably would go Washington, go Toronto, and then maybe throw a Philly in there, or you could throw one of Joe's in for a couple different alteration and probably get 2.5 to 3 on the money. And I might even play that, but follow us on Betting Pros at bettingpros.com/Joe and bettingpros.com/Welsh to see some of the other bets.
For the month of June, I believe you are 2nd or 3rd overall, and I am 4th. So I'm right behind you, Welsh.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, overall. Okay.
I've had a pretty good June. I had a really bad
May. May was rough. I don't want to talk about May. Let's talk about June. June's been very good so far. So we are at the top of the standings in our little leading off group, which you can also join too. Join the leading off group. Just click on the little groups tab and then find leading off and enjoy and join us every day for the best bets of the day with Joey P and the Welsh. All right, that was fun. I kind of get, hey, everybody, it's Joey P and the Welsh.
And you had this weird awkward stop, and then it went back to us, and we're both just sitting here. That was
lots of voice
really
acting today. I'm going to put this whole show on my reel. It's going to go real well for me. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get an acting job?
Michael Caine voice is like the most fun to do.
You really like to. I only do obscure voices. Like you do all these, like, look at me. I'm Christopher Walken. I'm Christopher Russo. And I'm like, hey, listen to me. I'm Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like, that's what I do.
I don't even know who these things are.
But
But I saw a lot of the comments on the day that I did the Mad Dog one, and I had a lot of people tweeting at us. I know specifically me about that one, who really enjoyed that. So we'll take Chris Russo out of the box and dust him off again. Look, I'm letting it ride. I am just continuing the Fernando Tatis onslaught. I really don't like anything else on the board today. And you can see, boom, there it is, 18. So I'm still on the wrong side of this board, but Fernando gets me another one today. Maybe I get up to 19. Maybe I get to that 10 spot. Who knows? Anything's possible. Of course, you can join our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. And make sure if you haven't, join us tomorrow for cleaning up. fantasypros.com/cleaning up. It's a place where you can ask us questions live. Last week, we had a ton of live questions, which was great. We had people in the chat, but we had people coming up on stage to talk to us. Super fun. It's like a call-in radio show. You get to ask your questions, talk about the show. And if you want, I'll do it in Michael Caine voice for you. Welsh, who is your home run call of the day?
I actually haven't done this all year too. I'm also carrying over. I didn't get my home run yesterday, but as I just mentioned, like maybe I'm going to be really wrong, but I kind of think like Carlos Rodriguez is just going to trying to be throwing fastballs all over. And I think Vlad is going to attack and hit hard. So I'm going to go back to Vlad, really thinking I can get that home run. I'm trying to get on that board. Get me on the board.
Get him on the board. As you got to do, you got to pick a right home run, fella. And then that's how you get on the board. That's what you do. You pick him right. And next thing you know, he goes right on top of that board.
I don't know why it's making me mad. I love all your impressions. That one, for some reason, that one is making me
Michael
mad.
Caine infuriates you. Is that was the problem? The problem is Michael Caine just makes you mad when I do Michael Caine voice on the program for lead. I imagine it's also fun too for the people who just listen and don't watch the show too, because I'm sure watching that voice come out of my face is probably what's disturbing you and most other people. But if you're just listening to it, I bet it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know the psychology behind it, but like a lot of them I do.
Bald-headed Italian guy sounding like Michael Caine.
It really doesn't fit.
Because then it looks like I'm out of a Guy Ritchie movie or something. I think that's why it would be disturbing. You know, it's lets Michael Caine more Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch or one of those movies there.
You like dogs? Like dogs?
Another obscure impression of Welsh.
I like dogs.
Just line up the obscure impressions of yours. I think that would be fun. Fun show today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back to do it again tomorrow. And don't forget, cleaning up also tomorrow. So join that Discord, hang out with us there. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. I'll see you next time, kids.